What's up, YouTube? So I look different than I did last video. A little more clean shaven. Actually got my hair cut. I couldn't get my hair cut for nearly 2 months. Got snowed in and everything else, and just didn't have time whenever I wasn't snowed in. So, but just kind of wanted to give an update on what's going on with me. So I'm here at the Springfield terminal in Missouri at Prime. Since that last video that I made about me getting hit, I finally got a new phone with a new camera. It's actually got the director's view on it, so I'll try that out sometime soon, hopefully. But so I got backed into. I showed you guys some of that. Of course, that video's only got 3 views, so. But not long after that, actually, I mean, it's been about 4 days or 4 nights ago from today. I probably should have made a video that night of when it happened, but like I said in my other videos, my camera, I only could use my front view camera, and it just makes things difficult when I'm trying to show you guys something. It's hard to do because I can't see the screen, so I can't see exactly where I have my camera pointed towards. So, but anyways, my truck got hit by lightning 4 nights ago. It wasn't a direct hit, but it was enough that I had lost all my dome lights. My truck wouldn't start, and I smelled burnt electronics. Gauges wouldn't work. Some lights would work, some dash lights wouldn't. Didn't fry my Qualcomm, surprisingly, but it wouldn't even start back up the next day after it done its automatic shut-off. So I actually had to be towed. That was in Olney, Illinois. So towed from there down here to Springfield, Missouri. Freightliner here in Springfield has my truck. So I'm here at Success Leasing. I'm fixing to go in there. I thought I would just do this little bit of the video, and then I'll let you guys know what's going on after I go in. But I'm here at Success Leasing. They're supposed to be giving me a loaner truck. I'm going to try to get a few details on how they're going to do my truck payment and stuff, because it's kind of crazy to have to pay for a truck that's being worked on, you know, and that they are giving no ETA of when it will be done. So but yeah, it got hit by lightning, and I went home for a few days because I thought, you know, this is going to take a while. I knew, and I was getting close to home time anyway, so I just went ahead and took a few days off. Now I'm back up here, hopefully getting this loaner truck to get back on the road. I was going to take a week off, although I didn't. I only took just a few days off because of this, me having to come up here to sign for this loaner truck. So, all right, I'm gonna go in and get this taken care of, and I'll shoot the rest of this video later. All right, thanks. All right, so I'm back. Not happy at all. They give me an International. It definitely isn't my Freightliner. And I know Freightliner's got a name for being rough, and yeah, they do ride a little rough. I haven't had an International out on the road with under a load, so I hear they ride good. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Which, first thing I noticed, I moved this truck from the spot it was in to over here next to the restrooms, and first thing I noticed is a flat spot on the tire. And sure enough, when I park, I get out and I happen to look, and of course there's a flat spot on the rear passenger side tire. I don't know if they're going to change that or not, which I don't really care. Hopefully I'm just going to be driving this thing for a couple of weeks, and I'll be back in my Freightliner. But I guess it's a good time to give you guys a tour of an International. Other thing I don't like I get to fill out everything that's wrong with this truck. Just like as if I was doing a lease. As if I'm leasing the truck. I've also got to sign a lease as if I'm leasing the truck. I don't pay for it. I do continue to pay for my other truck, which is kind of a bummer too. But I don't have to pay for this one, I guess. That's a plus. But yeah, so yeah, I got to fill out. It won't focus very well, but you can kind of see it's fairly thick. You got to fill all that out. I got to go through everything, all the controls, the motor, the paint, everything. So let me zoom out a little bit here. But this thing is pretty rough too. I mean, you can even see right there on the steering wheel, it's pretty rough, and I think it's a 2020 if I'm going by the truck number on it. Usually the second digit tells what the truck number is, or at least I know it does on the Freightliner. The second digit will tell if it's a 19, a 20, 21, you know, whatever. But one thing I do like about the International is you can see how the step is. It's right there when you open the door. Thing about that is it's a little more narrow in between the seats than a Freightliner. Freightliners are a little bit wider on the inside. Thing about that is though, is when you step out of the cab, the steps are a little closer in. But I'm not that old yet, so it's not something I worry about. You know, I've heard some people say, oh, I really like the way these steps are on these Peterbilts or Internationals, you know, because they seem a little easier to get in and out of. Well, it doesn't bother me any. But I'm gonna step back. I'm just gonna give you a quick little tour. I mean, nothing huge, nothing special. I mean, you got all your switches here for your fifth wheel slide. This is for your regen, which I hope I never have to do. I know I don't. I haven't had to do one on any of the Freightliners I've leased so far. This is your differential lock, traction control on and off switch. Your uphill start to help you. It'll lock your brakes until you hit the gas for you know, to a certain RPM before it releases the brake if you're on a hill, so that way you don't roll backwards or forwards. Not really sure what this is. I probably won't mess with it much. I know this is for your dome light and your floorboard lights. You got your suspension dump, so if your trailer's a little low, you can dump your suspension to go up underneath your trailer. Not really sure on this either. It looks like an air conditioning and fan for your bunk. Not too sure on all that. And then of course you got your dials for your heat and air and defrost, your air brakes. One thing I do like is I noticed this has a USB port here, and then of course the radio has a USB port. It's the same radio as the Freightliners have, and well, all of our trucks here at Prime have these radios on, but it's got a USB port here as well. I do like that. I know on my Freightliner I have to get a USB plug to go into the cigarette lighter, and then of course here's where you type in your alarm. I'm assuming this turns your bunk heater and air on so that it works back there maybe for when you're idling, because we use APUs, which is pretty much like a generator to run our heat and air. And then your emergency button in case someone tries to rob you or if you get in a wreck or something. And then this is your lane departure. It'll go buzz whenever you get on the line or over the line. I'm assuming this is the mirror adjust, or not mirror adjust. Mirror adjust is over here. The scroll button for your dash, because this is all digital right here. Type this code in. Let's see. What did I do with the key to this thing? So yeah, you can see it's all, the middle section is digital. Got your air pressure gauge, temperature gauge, fuel. There's your second air pressure gauge. I don't really know on this one what is for what. I know on the Freightliner it's all on the same dial. And I'm wanting to say one goes to each one of your tanks, maybe. And one's for your, well, honestly, I can't remember. But I know we have tanks, a couple different tanks. And then, of course, your trailer's got a tank as well. But yeah, I'm getting a low air pressure when I start the truck. See, it says trans air pressure low. Don't really understand that because I've had the air pressure all the way up. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. I guess I'll have to have that, mark that in this dang pamphlet I've got to fill out. But yeah, you got your pressure gauge here for your brakes. It shows you how much pressure you're applying, and then this is your weight for your drive tires whenever you have a trailer on there. That way you know how much weight is actually on the truck. And then of course your Qualcomm keeps up with your e-logs and everything. But yeah, first thing I noticed, Freightliner dash, a lot bigger, a lot bulkier. A lot of similarities as far as the simplicity, but like the Freightliner doesn't have this. It does have a cubby like that. It also, the dash, because it's bulkier, it's got a spot up here. As you can see, this don't even have a glove compartment that I see. Oh, that's your fuses. So the Freightliner, its fuse thing is up front here. So one thing I've noticed about this International though is that it seems to have more storage than a Peterbilt. Because up here you can see I have all this along with this inside there. And again, all on this side. In a Peterbilt, you really don't have that. I mean, you have like a little thing over here on each side, a little box, and it doesn't go in very far. And you got a couple of little cubbies on each side, but that's about it. The Peterbilt really lacks in storage. Now this is pretty much the first time. I mean, I've been in an International, but I've never you know, went through, turned lights on and stuff. See, there's the APU controls. You turn it on heat. It's on heat right now, heat and air. This over here looks like an alarm clock with maybe a radio and stuff. It's got a temp setting up there. I don't know. I know some of the older models, the heat and the air are separate, so I don't know. I guess I'll have to figure that out. You can see the seat belts for if you sleep back here while the truck's moving. It pulls over you to hold you in if there's an accident. That's the on and off for your inverter. It lets you know how many watts, volts you're using. So, yeah. do like that. Some shelving area. Thing I don't like is in the Peterbilt and the Freightliner, this up here is open so that the passenger, when you have the truck parked, if someone's sleeping up here, they can put stuff up there. So I don't necessarily like that about this, because they would have to reach down here to open this door if they was to store anything in it. So that's a negative, even though I do like, you know, if you was solo, I do like the shelves, but I'm not always solo. My wife or my kids sometimes come with me. Same way with over here, there's not really any storage. I don't know about, looks like you get a couple of little cubby holes. No, just one. Well, there might be one right there. Little cubby hole. Looks like maybe a little cubby hole back there with a with a cup holder. Nothing special. Let's see. Oh, I don't know. Wow. It looks like to me that's permanently mounted down this bed. I don't see a handle. The truck just shut off. It's got an automatic shut off. I don't even see a handle to raise that top bunk up. The Peterbilts, they split right here, and half of it raises up. The Freightliners, the entire thing raises up. One thing about the Peterbilts is if you're solo and you raise it halfway up, you can use it as storage. That's a good thing, because again, Peterbilt lacks in storage. It's one of the worst things about Peterbilts. This one has something Freightliner doesn't have. I like that. Has it on both sides, cubbies on both sides. That's a plus. I wish Freightliner would actually do that. So, but over here, some more shelves up through there. Little mat where you eat your food and set your computer or game system. Maybe, I don't know, put a TV, because I don't see a TV mount. No, there's where you would mount a TV, because there's the coax hookup and the AC adapter. I do like this too, and that's something the Freightliner has. You can put a full-size mini fridge in here, a split mini fridge, freezer and fridge. And I guess you could probably mount your TV on top of your fridge in this truck. Don't necessarily like that, but maybe just what you have to do. And as you can see, Peterbilt and Freightliner, they have ladders that you climb to get in to the top bunk. This one has steps to get up to the top bunk. I don't necessarily like that, because it's, you know, if you're an older person, and believe me, there are older people that get into this industry, that makes it kind of tough for you to get in and out of. And if you see, this is supposed to be your closet where you hang your hangers right here. That step is inconvenient, and in a very inconvenient spot. So I don't like that about it. So, but all in all, you can see that handle, boy, that really provides some safety and helps you get in up there to your bunk. I mean, I'll show you. Reach up here and grab your handle, and then you step up here. I mean, if you was to miss that step, that falls a little further than you think, especially when you got a TV down there to crack your neck on. So this guy kind of gives you a nice view. Of the cubby holes and stuff. So that's the International on the inside. Again, I'm not too big of a fan of it. I like my Freightliner. I like that the top bunk folds up. And I like the storage that the Freightliner provides. Provides really good storage, because like right here it's got a huge box. Right here it's got a box that has a door on it. Same over here, and here has a huge storage box for everything. And then it has this over the top of your storage boxes. You can see the way the ceiling's designed in this. It's just not, it doesn't have the room for the storage that the Freightliner has. The Freightliner, that's one thing that they did well, besides build a good motor and transmission. Well, mostly motor. I know I've heard problems with the transmission, but I haven't had any problems with any of the Freightliners I've been in. But that's one thing they did well, and that was make use of storage. So let me see if I can open this bottom bunk. I didn't look at that. Oh, well, you got a little storage room underneath here. A couple of vents that you don't want to cover up. So I don't really know how well. You can see that vent, there's a return vent right there, so I don't know how well you could actually use the storage here. So that lever, there's one on both sides, unlatches the bunk. And it's hung for some reason. Well, I'm gonna have to sit you all down for a second. See what's going on here. Well, I think I just stopped my video, so I've started a new one. But anyways, well, apparently the bunk doesn't want to raise up. You can see, I push this handle, this side's trying to raise. This side is broke. You can see the latch comes out, but it won't unlatch. And I'm not trying to get my fingers smashed. It doesn't matter anyway. I've done looked. I've already looked underneath the bunk, and there's no storage room under there either. And I'll show you one other thing I like about the International, whereas everything else so far has been a negative, mostly. Definitely better than the Peterbilt. I think I'd rather have an International than a Peterbilt when it comes to storage, for sure. I don't know about how good the Internationals are compared to the Peterbilts, but so you got this right here. But look, can't fit anything in there. Not really. Oh, can't fit anything in there. Don't like the color either. Of course, it's purple. There's the flat spot on the tire. There's my APU running. Again, no storage. And I don't know if you can see back in there, but even if I lifted the bunk, I wouldn't be able to fit anything in there. So yeah, just not enough storage, especially when you add all the APU stuff in here. I mean, if you didn't have an APU in this truck, it would be all right. Here's your batteries. Does not look like they would be fun to get down into. Tanks, batteries, there's your DEF. So, but so yeah, I'm not too happy about it. Sorry about my camera use too. I know I suck with a camera. But yeah, definitely not what I like. So I like the double side compartments about it. Unusual on this truck. Freightliner only has one on the driver's side. Now you can get them with the doors on both sides for storage compartments. Freightliner has lots of storage under the bunk, even with the heat and air, the equipment, heat and air equipment underneath the bunks. Still got plenty of storage under there. The only thing is, see, I added a toolbox to mine so that way I could put my tools in it and get them out from the storage compartment on the driver's side. So now on my Freightliner, I can put all my drinks, all my waters, anything that I want over in the storage compartment on the driver's side so I can get easy access to it. Since the basic Freightliners don't have the access door on the passenger side, I have to open the bunk to get in there. But again, plenty of storage underneath that bunk. So I put everything else, like all my extras, things that I don't hardly ever have to have access to, I put it underneath the bunk so that way I don't have to get underneath the bunk but maybe once every couple of weeks. Lifesaver. Where before in my other Freightliner, because I didn't have a toolbox, I had to put my tools in the storage compartment on the driver's side. So that means I had to put everything else under the bunk, which means I had to get under my bunk nearly every day. And believe me, it's a bit of a hassle to have to get underneath that bunk every day. So now I've narrowed that down to just every couple of weeks I have to get under there for things. Huge deal. And if I order my own truck, I'm gonna get the doors on both sides. That way I never have to lift my bunk if I don't want to. I mean, I'm sure I still might have to every now and again. I keep a printer with me and other office gear that I keep in my satchel underneath the bunk. So if I ever had to use it, of course, I would have to get underneath my bunk. But yeah, Freightliner, when it comes to that, when it comes to room and storage, they have that down to a T. Where International and Peterbilt have really lacked in that area. Peterbilt, same thing. You have access on both sides to get underneath your bunk. Peterbilt has more room underneath their bunk for storage than this International does. But the problem is they lack in storage room everywhere else. And I've heard a lot of things rattle in the Peterbilts. And also, you have to have the built-in little bitty fridge. And it's just a single door. You open it up, and it's got that little bitty freezer up at the top. You can't fit hardly anything in it. I don't like to eat out all the time, especially since I've been watching what I eat to keep my carbs down. Because I gained 12 pounds within the first year and a half or so, nearly 2 years of working here. The first year I kept it off pretty good, but after that I started packing on the pounds, so I had to start watching what I eat, and that was cutting a lot of fast food out. And that's about all that's offered out here to truck drivers, really. I mean, that's the most. So I keep a lot of food on my truck, and one of them little refrigerators won't cut it. It's not going to cut it. I don't care what anybody says. I've heard of people with Peterbilts or the built-in fridges. They've had to get a second fridge and take out their passenger seat to keep all their food if they're not going to eat out all the time. So, you know, I don't care what anybody says. They can sit there and say, "Oh, that's plenty of room for me and somebody else, or for me, or whatever." Well, then you're apparently eating out more often than I am, because I keep my fridge packed. And again, my freezer's separate. It's a separate door. It's a good sized freezer, and I keep that freezer and the fridge packed with food, up until it's time to restock, because I eat it. But I keep it packed, and I hardly ever eat out at these restaurants. Maybe twice a week, 3 times if I'm feeling, stupid for eating fast food. But yeah, Freightliner, they've got that down to a T, man. They may have a rough ride, but I'd rather put up with a bit of a rough ride and be able to live comfortably than to have a great ride and have no room for my stuff, and like with this International, what I noticed, like the closet for your shirts is down low. I don't like that. Internationals is right there eye level, and then you got a storage box for where I keep my socks, underwear, and pants up above that, and then it does have a storage down below. That's where I keep drinks that I'm keeping on the inside of the truck, so that way I don't have to constantly get out, so I keep drinks and maybe a few other extra stuff in there. And then it's got a big storage box up above where my fridge sits. And then, like I said, crap ton of storage capacity along the front up here. Even a spot for your CB, which that may be what this is. Yeah, that's what this is here, a spot for your CB. So, I don't know. I love my Freightliner. When I come to Prime, I thought, yeah, I'll be I like the looks of those Internationals. I like the looks of the Internationals better than I do the Peterbilts. What I'd really like, if I was going for style, is a Kenworth, but here at Prime, they don't offer Kenworth. They offer Peterbilt, International, and Freightliner. I don't know what this truck is doing. It sounds like the vents maybe adjusting. That's weird. Oh, they've given me a piece of junk for a loaner truck, man. And I'm not saying they couldn't have given me a piece of junk Freightliner, because they could have. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, my personal preference, out of the trucks that are offered here at Prime, I am a Freightliner man through and through. If I was going to buy my own truck from somewhere else, and I was buying on looks, it would be Kenworth. I've not been in a Kenworth, so I don't know what their storage and stuff is like. But I do love the looks of a Kenworth versus a Peterbilt or an International. And I love the looks of a Mack. Macks are beautiful trucks. That new body design they have is really good. So, anyways, I guess I need to get started on this paperwork. Here in a little while, I'm going to go over and get some of my stuff out of my Freightliner. And I'm going to have to take this truck after doing all the inspection on it. I mean, the only thing I see so far is that it's going to have to be looked at is that tire's got a flat spot. Everything else is so far that I see is cosmetic and just looks like crap, because whoever had this didn't seem to take a whole lot of pride in where they live. My truck gets dirty sometimes, but I try to keep it clean. And I don't know. I don't know, maybe mine looks nastier than I think it does because I see it every day, but I don't think so. I try to keep things wiped down. I got a vacuum. I try to keep the floors vacuumed. I even I take baby wipes and stuff and or spray the floor down and you know, use paper towels to clean the floor. So kind of like a way of mopping it. Every so often, I've got floor mats I keep down. You know, I try to keep it pretty clean. You would be surprised at how hard it is to keep these trucks clean. You would really have to work at it all the time, every day. Like every time you stop, really constantly be on top of it to keep them spick and span. Because a lot of dust and stuff gets in these trucks pretty quickly. But yeah, I guess I'm glad it wasn't a Peterbilt. I'm just not a fan of Peterbilts, although I'm not a fan of this truck very well either. So, but anyways, I'm gonna get this paperwork done and get it turned in, see about that tire, and go over to Freightliner and get some stuff out of my truck, so I can, I guess, possibly hit the road soon. But anyways, talk to y'all later.